Before we begin, thank you very much to Moo. That's the name they put. I don't know if they just put that so I would say Moo, or if they're looking for like the impression here, like. Does that do it for you? Thank you for pitching in. For anyone else who would like to pitch in and help keep the channel alive, I only ask for a tiny little bit over at patreon.com/TJOmega. Link in the description. It all helps keep the channel going. Thank you guys very much for the support. Now, this is exciting. This is actually really, really big. So, we had rumors of it for a while. The official announcement and the official photos have finally dropped. Lego is doing an Optimus Prime, and there's some huge ramifications to this that some may not think about, because this is a big... Okay, for starters, this itself is just really, really cool. That Lego would actually want to make a Transformer figure in the first place. That's pretty significant. You know, Lego doesn't really mess around with small time franchises. They do Harry Potter, they do Jurassic Park, they do Marvel, they do DC characters. Like, they do big deal stuff, when they do their license. A couple oddballs here and there, but for the most part, it's major, major things. So for Transformers to fit under that umbrella, that says something. That says a lot. There's other ramifications to this. We'll get to those in a bit. We're going to go through like press release photos and all this. So we see the box itself looking very nice. He's in that MP01 kind of stoic, neutral pose. Not too surprising. We see on the back, we get to see like actual the transformation. Well, at least a semblance of what the transformation is going to be. It does transform without part forming. You building a working Optimus Prime, which is awesome. We see the accessory count as well. We have a better shot of the accessories, a better shot of the robot mode. Yeah. I mean, you can definitely tell the Lego in him, but they've actually done a pretty good job making him like animation smooth, considering he's being made out of bricks. The head is the weird part. The head is a little bit weird, and we'll get to that. Yeah, it's a little bit weird there. I think the eyes are a little close together. But you can see the accessories. We get a nameplate. We get his Energon axe, which is brick built. We get an Energon cube, which I think is about the simplest accessory Lego could do. I think. I'm kind of surprised that wasn't just like just a 2x2 brick, and then it looks like an alternate piece for the back. I think that's I don't know. I don't know. It looks like the back. It looks like something for the back end, like a license plate section. I'm not quite sure what that is. Maybe we'll see it in the other photos. Here's a very well-off man staring in wonder at this, as the only toy he owns, as everything else is very adult, professional, and tasteful. He's just playing with an Optimus Prime out of nowhere. Came out of a GQ catalog. Like, he is just... We're hiring male... Lego can afford to hire male models for their photo shoots, by the way. There's an actual matrix of leadership inside. It does look like it's clipped in, so it looks like it might actually be removable. Expected to not fit in his hands like every other matrix ever. And yeah, here you can actually see where the head... They do a good job replicating the helmet, but it's the eyes that are getting me, because it's just one flat panel with the eyes tamper-graphed on. That's, like, weirding me out. I wish there was, like, a little bit of an angle to it. We see the Energon axe, again, brick built. I wish I was enough of a Lego head to tell you, oh, that brick is from this and this set, and this brick used to be this piece. I don't know. I don't know. It looks like an axe to me. He does also get the rifle, also brick built, everything brick built. Of course it is, it's Lego. And the jetpack, which is an odd accessory. It's interesting to me how often Optimus Prime comes with a jetpack used exactly one time in the cartoon. But it's one of his go-to accessories, right along with the axe. And now he's just done. He's done with his new toy. He's off playing with his taxes now. But it's not even in a prominent place of display. He just kind of left it on its table facing away from him. He just really likes how the back section is built. It's just really impressive how they managed to work all the parts into it. You see, there's a little bit better. Vehicle mode with a stand. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. You know what's weird about me looking at this shot again? Lego does a better job at hiding the feet than Hasbro and Takara do, because it's not just like stuck out the back for some stupid reason, and they actually fold away. It's nice. I like that the little bio thing actually has the old school tech specs too: strength, intelligence, speed, endurance, rank, courage, firepower, which is a politically incorrect term apparently now, so they don't use it anymore, and skill. You know, the main 8. It's nice to see those again. Part of me wishes it was in like the old tech spec style art, but this is nice and classy too. Yeah, see, oh, see, look, he built. You see, he's one of those. He's one of those that has to have his Lego set in both modes, so he buys 2 of them. You know, I mean, you look at the art he's got going on here. Like, he can afford it. He can afford it. Yeah, it's just looking really, really nice. And look how compact. Like, that truck gets super compact when it transforms. Okay, I see. Okay, it's the front end. Okay, that extra piece looks like it was the front end of the bumper. I'm hoping that's not like a part-formed piece. It'd be weird if it's just one panel that's changed. I guess you don't have to change it. That's just kind of odd that it was kept separate from the other parts here. And here's another guy. Mid-transformation, we get to see, like, it's got a lot of folding elements here to get everything in, which is really, really good to see that, it's not just like, obviously it's replicating a lot of the G1 transformation because that's the simplest way to do Optimus Prime, but it's throwing in its own little tricks. It looks like, like the midsection folding up in order to give the arms clearance to transform inward. That's not a bad trick. That's something that I wouldn't mind a actual Optimus Prime doing. So we didn't just get like Fat Belly Primed or anything like weird like we have in the past. Truck mode definitely shows his Lego origins. There's a little bit of gap issues, but guess what? We've seen far worse Optimus Primes, haven't we? If we want like Optimus Primes with gap issues, go check the Robot Masters figure. Go check, let's see, the Classics Deluxe figure. This isn't bad. This is not bad at all. Close up of the jetpack for some reason. Really proud of the jetpack. Yeah, and the box looks fine. In a way, I'm kind of glad that they didn't go for like G1 box recreation. I feel like that would have been too much. This is more like the way Lego does their classier high-end pieces, because this is going to be a high dollar piece. So if we go up to the press release here, so see, the collaboration marks the first time these leading global toy companies have worked together, featuring both robot and alt modes. It's one of the few Lego sets that converts between 2 different models. That is actually a really important thing, because Hasbro and Takara are extremely protective of any other toy company wanting to produce a Transformers figure. Most of the time, like 99% of the time, it doesn't transform. They don't want anyone else getting in on their play pattern. Figurines are fine. Action figures are fine. If you make it transform, that's a whole other system of loopholes you have to jump through in order to actually get approved for that. So I'm really happy that this is actually a thing. It's a lot. Set includes over 1,500 Lego pieces and stands over 35 centimeters in robot mode and 15 centimeters high in alt mode. I don't have the photo here, but I remember seeing the photo someone took, and it actually stands taller than MP01. Like, it stands bigger than the original Masterpiece Optimus Prime. It is a big figure. You're making a really big Optimus Prime out of this, which is one reason why I'm so surprised the alt mode is so compact. Like, they really like condensed him down. You can see he ain't small. He ain't small in the least. So let's see here. What else can we glean from this? Okay, back to 1984, typical like pop culture stuff. It has been an honor and a joy to work together with Hasbro to develop a Lego version of Optimus Prime. I am excited to see these two toy companies come together for the first time to celebrate the leader of the Autobots. Optimus Prime has become a pop culture symbol of courage, selflessness, and great leadership, as well as an awesome toy that embodies the problem-solving and creativity skills that both companies value so much. It has been a wonderful and challenging task to bring him to life using Lego bricks, especially making sure they can ship modes without disassembly and stay true to his signature look and style. I am going to credit Lego designers tremendously for something like that. Lego designing already seems like it takes like a genius to figure out how to build like, these incredible things out of just mere bricks. But when you also factor in that it has to resemble something in two different modes as closely as possible, and it has to do it without disassembling in order to go from one to the other, that's a ton of engineering. Engineering a Lego set, already hard. Engineering a Transformer, already hard. Whoever actually managed to make this happen at the same time, I don't know if it really is just Joseph Patrick Kyde by himself. Probably not. But congrats to him and his department for actually creating it. There's a big thing to this. Because you're talking about the number one toy brand, the number one toy company in the world, Lego, partnering with the number two toy company in the world, Hasbro. Or at least, let's put it this way. Lego is the number one toy company in the world. Hasbro is the number one toy company in America. They overtook Mattel to do that. So, you have two of the biggest in the world collaborating for one figure when they're normally rivals. It is fascinating to see that not only are they collaborating, but Hasbro's also allowing them to do everything that most licensees do not get to do with Transformers. That's a huge deal. Now, this huge deal at 1,508 Lego bricks is going to run you approximately $170 US. For licensed Lego this size, that's not an unsurprising number. Things built in-house in Lego do tend to run cheaper. I collect like modular buildings that usually run between 2,500 and 3,000 pieces for roughly the same price, although they've gone up in price now too, like everything else. But point being, licensed stuff always costs more for Lego, so this is not really shocking. And it probably also comes with the fact that Hasbro is probably more reluctant to license it because it was going to transform. That probably ups the price a little bit more. I'm not going to say whether it's worth the price or not. If you're a Lego buff, if you're a Transformer buff, you've already figured out your plan. I think what's significant about this is Hasbro tapping out. Hasbro and Takara both tapping out of the brick building game. So, we've talked about it before on this channel. Hasbro and Takara have both tried to get brick building toys into their catalog for a long time now, and it's never quite worked. We start with Takara's Block Town, which was going to be little bases that could convert into weapons for Micromasters. That didn't work. They redid it and concepted it again. This time it was G2 repaints with accessory pieces you could build. They had a lot of plans for this. They had an aircraft carrier semi-truck combination that was all brick built that could store smaller figures. It was going to be the grand set of the whole series. Never came to pass. Don't know if it was just lack of interest, if it got too expensive, but Takara never went forward with the plans. So Blocktown never happened. Outside of the convention, the Transformer Convention Club did do a Cars app, which did come with something. We'll talk about that in a bit. And then, of course, we have Build-A-Rule. If you know this channel, you know how Build-A-Rule turned out. This was not really brick building. There were so many parts that were... You had no choice but to use them for the front end, for the windshield. There was no creativity here, which is like the core of brick building toys. This was just extremely limiting and just had no Transformer experience in it whatsoever. Wasn't good for Lego fans, wasn't good for Transformer fans, terrible all around. And then you had Creo, Hasbro's strongest attempt to actually create something completely new. in the brick building game. Now, this worked the way Lego does. You disassemble it, you rebuild it into the robot mode. It had little Lego-like minifigures, the Creons, and they pushed the Creons really hard for a really long time. Transformer ones especially. You had blind bag ones that came with armor from other ages, which was, so you'd have like a pirate Starscream or a cowboy Optimus Prime, which was a great way of saying, we had these bricks planned, but all of those toy lines got canceled, so we have to use the parts somewhere. But most remember Creo for the blind bag Creons that could actually part form into very rudimentary alternate modes. On the ones that, you had combiner ones. You had those big ones that actually could convert without part forming. But by then, the line was basically dead. No one really cared about it anymore. So, yeah. They've been trying a long, long time. Takara also had an attempt during... Okay, so Takara had an attempt during Animated. I didn't pull up a picture of it, unfortunately. I didn't even remember it until then. Those were... Okay, the Bumblebee would look okay. I think the Optimus Prime did not look good at all. I think those could transform without separating, if I remember correctly. And then you had the one from the Evergreen design in... that one like subline they did in China for Transformers Adventures overseas. That one had a really impressive brick-built Optimus Prime. I don't think that one could transform at all. I think it was just Prime. Could be wrong about that. I haven't looked into it in a long time. Point being, Hasbro and Takara have both been trying for decades to work brick building into Transformers, and it's never actually happened. The fact that they've actually finally gone and let Lego do it, I think speaks volumes. I think this pretty much ends any chance of them ever doing bricks themselves again. I think this is just them like tapping out and admitting defeat on this one. But this raises a lot to speculate on, because now we have to stop and think, what else could they do? Obviously other Transformer characters, a Starscream, a Bumblebee, that stuff is obvious. What about stuff that you could use like Lego, like little Lego Men Transformer characters, little Lego Men Optimus Prime and Starscream and all that. Then you get into things like a Metroplex base, with a lot of extra parts, Cup, Hot Rod, and brick-built Sharkticons in the Quintesson Pit of Judgment. You have Autobot City Battle, with little gimmicks, like, a spot where Starscream can get, a little part where Starscream's foot can get stuck, and little break-in cave sections for Devastator. Fun stuff. There's a lot that can be done with this partnership if this Prime happens to take off and work. And I think it will. Between Lego and Transformer fans, I have no doubt this set's going to take off, and hopefully we get something else down the line, because this is, super exciting if this is the beginning of something. So, that's my take. That's my analysis. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening to me talk and ramble one more time. I hope you'll join me for more talking and rambling tomorrow, because there's more stuff being revealed, and we gotta talk about that soon, too. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm, and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.